Good evening, Namaste. I am Daksh, the founder of Blub World magazine, which is basically a publication that works on the concept of teens inspiring teens. We keep finding teenagers who are doing great work in life and share their struggles and successes with other teenagers so that they can do inspiring work. Till now, we have showcased and interacted with more than 300 teenagers from across the globe who have done great work in life. And from time to time, we try to publish white papers on the K-12 education sector, basically to document on what all innovative, new, and different is going on in schools to engage kids. So just as a part of that, this Blub World Web Talks is one of those activities. Today, you're all a part of the 29th Web Talk. We have till now finished 28 Web Talks before this, and more than, I suppose, 200 school leaders from 60 plus geographies from across the globe have participated till now. So the purpose of this activity is very simple. Every section of the society is supposed to contribute to society in with its own capabilities and whatever achievements or things that learnings or knowledge that you have. As far as educationists are concerned, for instance, farmers take care of our food, health workers take care of our health, the police is taking care of our security. Educationists have the duty to deliver education, but at the same time, it is your responsibility also to create the next knowledge bank that the world would need. So this is the time when the world is looking towards you for ideas and the new knowledge that the world would need. So during these activities, after talking to 200 more school leaders, we have tried to create an idea repository of what all schools are doing during this lockdown in their schools to keep the learning continued. Because it's a new atmosphere for everybody, and lockdown is a very peculiar kind of an experience for each one. So most of the schools have shifted to online teaching, Zoom calls, video teachers creating videos for themselves. So a lot of innovation is happening. Just to give you an example of the kind of ideas that we've got till now, there's a very small village in West Bengal that's called Padua. They don't have good internet. So the innovative assignment that they gave to their kids was to create a custom dictionary at home. They've told their kids to add 5 new words to that dictionary every day and bring that dictionary to school once the school reopens. There's one school who was not able to send all its hostelers back to their parents. And since the lockdown began, they're housing 50 such teenagers with themselves within their hostels. And that's a school run by Swaminarayan Trust in Gujarat. And that's, they have some of the most affluent kids from all across Gujarat. But they're doing amazing engagement activities with those kids. There's one school which has asked its students to do a daily news report by telling that what is happening in their surrounding. So schools have gone, overboard with innovative ideas, innovations, and new things that they're doing. And we are trying to share the best out of those ideas with more than 5,000 schools across South Asia, so that those small, little, big ideas can be used by these schools to improve learning at their end. So that's the same motive that we have come to you today. And let's hope we find some more new ideas from you. Let's start. Let's first hear it from Harshini ma'am. Harshini ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. This is Harshini Devi, the Dean from the Future Kids School, Rajahmundry, Andhra Pradesh. As it was addressed today, I want to just come forward with the challenges the educators are facing nowadays. The world has been very small with the globalized buzzword right now, with the COVID-19. And the uniqueness of the pandemic has opened the Pandora of crisis in every arena of the world. The most important crisis the world faces now is not only economic, but also educational and academic. The universal chaotic phenomenon brings all of us on a common platform to brainstorm on various challenges that we, actually the educators, are facing to change the face of the new era, which is going to be dawned after the lockdown phase in the world. So this is why actually we have gathered today over this webinar, I guess. And let me come to the major challenge. The major challenge is the cynical outlook and lack of discipline among the parent fraternity, I guess. It's a very major challenge according to the educators. On the educational, what is the cynical outlook of the parents is the educational systems, the organizations, and the procedures. This has to be tackled very sensitively, as the educationalists have established themselves undoubtedly. We are all here undoubtedly to support the future generation. And this has been misrepresented by the present generation of parents because they have come across some different methodologies which are being forced upon them. So what they are looking into is this situation has to be tackled very sensitively. And it has to be undoubtedly be very purposeful and knowledgeable to the future generation. And in this process, they advocate, especially the parents, they're advocating and applying various strategies coined by them through their experience and learning innovative methodologies. But every school and every organization has their own way of implementing the knowledge of the children. Okay. And what's the present situation is there are over expectations from the parents upon their children because they feel that everything is easy by the click of anything, click of a mouse or something else, and they're expecting the children are also to do the same. And our parents, they are actually very busy with their works, maybe with the business or with the works and everything, and they are not finding time to have an interaction or emotional interchange with the children. And that is making the children to go into a very sensitive phase where they are not finding time to emotionally bond with them. So this is the pandemonium of their approach to various aspects during the learning process. And this disjunction of thought, which is enforced by the parents upon the children, takes away the trust, reliability, respect upon their teachers, schools, and other sorts. And it is very important juncture where present situation has to revamp and regenerate with the optimistic approach and make the children see the reality in the prevailing scenario and grasp the maximum advantage from the educators. And I would like to say that, the present, the innovative thought that we have been putting forward in our school, because I have a very less time, I'm just telling you, is we are creating different groups where they come across brainstorming session in order to come with the solutions of the present scenario which is prevailing, and we are making them to go with the peer discussions over the Zoom sessions, not only to impart the knowledge, but to come up with the solutions and the innovative aspects that could be used to solve the issues which are going to come. And we have addressed the children day before yesterday, even to the parents, that they have to think in such a base where, they have to be the future entrepreneurs and they have to guide the whole country. So we are there to support them by guiding them with the incubation cells and all, providing the support for the future generation. And these peer discussions will definitely help them.
Thank you so much, Harshini ma'am, for sharing those thoughts. And I think a school incubation center for entrepreneurship would be something interesting to know about. So whatever developments you do towards this, please share those developments with us, because a lot of schools do have entrepreneurship cells, they have entrepreneurship studies going on, but as on date, we have not seen a school which has an incubation center within the school. So it will be really interesting to know what all happens within your incubation center. Thank you so much for taking out the time and sharing those thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Let's now hear it from Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. You can unmute your audio. Try to give us your introduction, one personal learning, and one idea.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Rashmi Singh. I'm from Faridabad, Delhi Scholars International School. I'm the head of the school and the principal here. Just now, Harshini ma'am spoke most of the things which as a leader we are facing and we are going through. So most of the things have been said about parents. But what this has made us realize, because this pandemic, we were knowing that something is happening, but suddenly it came to us. We had not thought that we will be locked for such a long period of time. We thought, okay, we are just winding up our things and we are going home and probably we'll come back within 2 or 3 days. So the best part is this gave a platform. This was a learning platform for all of us. How to combat any situation when anything comes to you without your knowledge. And here, what is required is empathy. Empathy from our side for the teachers, for the teachers, from the teachers to the children, for the parents. We are all in a circle that time. We were all in a circle. You can say it was a vicious circle, though we came out very nicely. And what extra, if you can speak, and obviously we are going through, my teachers, most of them were not knowing, the English teachers, they have their own set of rules how to teach English, the language teachers. They never made PPTs for the senior classes, but now they're doing. And now for the, you can say, for CBSE Vidyadan also, we will be contributing to Vidyadan also. And so many apps, everything, they are into it. So it has got the lockdown, despite of the different, you can say, aspects of it, it has brought to us some positive moments also. So finally, what I would say, that parents also have to be empathetic towards the children. We also have to be empathetic towards the parents. And parents have to understand that our teachers have never taught in such a manner. So like they have to be very, very empathetic towards our teachers also. Because doing, now see, they don't have any helping hand at home also. So doing all the work, and then coming back, and then the parents' expectations are so high. It's going high. Every day it is like this not done, that not done. But for this solution, we have taken out like activity teachers would also take the classes, sports, music, dance, online Zoom classes, video conferencing classes early in the morning. First, they have all these things. Then they're sharing their videos, whatever videos they're making at home of dance and everything, they're sharing with us. So this is like a picnic kind of a thing which is going on. And we are really happy that with education, we are going along with these things also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your observations and thoughts. I think, yes, empathy is something that's absolutely missing in the ecosystem. And we would have to devote a lot of time now for cultivating this very emotion in all the stakeholders who are there or who are part of the whole ecosystem, including parents, teachers, and students. Thank you so much for sharing those thoughts with us. And I think this, a very nice simile given by you, that it's an online picnic that's going on. And I think it's a very witty observation. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. Let's now hear it from Alka ma'am. Alka ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
This is Alka Sharma from Meerut, Director Academics in our school, Stepping Stones School, Muzaffarnagar. Actually, my perception towards this criteria that is going on these days is very different. Actually, people are counting it as a crisis for education, but thinking it's an innovation. We have never thought that we are going to teach in this way to the children. We have taught through smart classes, but it was created earlier. But now we are creating daily something new for the children. Actually, this is a very good experience I want to share with you all. Really, it was a crisis for all of us. And when we came to know that it's going to increase, but sudden solutions came to mind and many innovations came to mind. First of all, we started to send the work on WhatsApp. Then throughout video conferencing, we started our classes. As I'm very well connected with the Rashmi madam in this context, that we have also started our all the activities classes, fitness classes and dance and music and art and everything we are providing from here, and getting good cooperation of parent in this, and even we are getting their work back. And in between, we are also celebrating all the days, International Dance Day, Earth Day. We have celebrated everything. Even we have paid tribute to Shakespeare during this time. Earlier, though, I thought that it will be very difficult for us to get back work from the children. But every day, the moment we discuss the work with the children, and the same moment we get it back from the children. I cannot say that it's a crisis for the education. I can understand it as Harshni ma'am said, that emotional bonding. So for this also I have taken out a solution that my teachers every day make a call to students. They are in touch with them every day. We have decided that class wise they have to make a call, so that every day all classes are well connected with their subject teachers. They can ask about their problem, and we have also given the specific time to their students. If they have any problem, they can also discuss with their teachers. So in this way, though we are spending more time than the regular teaching, but we are taking very much interest in that, and as well as it's really enjoyable for everyone. Every day I am getting so nice videos of teachers, and while when I visit the classes, while my teacher teaches through Zoom app, when I visit the classes, I found my children that they are very creative at that time. They sit before the time the class is going to start. So I can say that it's really very positive for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing what all observations and whatever things you're doing right now in operating your school very well. Thank you so much. Let's now hear it from Archana ma'am. Archana ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Try to share with us your introduction, one personal learning and one idea or innovation that other schools can learn from you.
Sure. So hello everyone. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Archana Mishra. I'm from Lucknow. And yes, personal learning I would love to share. In fact, a lot of learning is happening for us school leaders also. Past 32 years I'm in this thing, so I call myself educationist and counselor. But to tell you, Mr. Daksh, very clearly, we have to counsel ourselves. This is the time I'm counseling myself on daily basis. Let me tell you, as Rashmi ma'am said, we were not ready for this thing. People who never expected or who never wanted to change, there were so many parents who were against this reducing screen time, this, that. We only were talking about it. But now we are the one who are talking, who are doing everything. We have increased screen time to that extent that we are worried. At the end of the day, say for a week or so, it was very nice, Mr. Daksh. Then, we thought of reducing their screen time. Plus, yes, I agree that I have added all those activity classes and all. But this is the time school has reinvented itself. Gone are the days when we could say that, this is how it happens in my school. Or this is how teachers can say, I have done it from last, say, you have teachers who are very old, 30 years, 40 years, we have been doing it like this now. Now this will not continue. Believe me or not, this word will change once this lockdown is over. We have already changed inside ourselves to some extent, and it is going to change further. So now when we have got the opportunity, I would like to say that when this screen time we have accepted, or technology we have accepted, we could go back at this integration of, technology with families at some positive note. We can continue with this. So at personal level, a catharsis is going on, so to speak, Mr. Daksh. Daily, yes, we are talking to parents, we are talking to children, but we are taking our rounds of internal meetings also, so that we can see that how we are changing. Are we able to cope up first? When life throw lemons at you, make lemonade. This is very easy to say, but to make lemonade, do we have all kind of right ingredients? That is the first thing. So on daily basis, we never had that many meetings, let me tell you. Systems are set, people were working, but now on daily basis we are reinventing ourselves, so to speak. Why? So that children can get maximum benefit out of it. We have right from playgroup to class 12 student, and at this particular time, Mr. Daksh, you understand, our schools have 2 class 10s and 2 class 12 sitting over there with us. All the schools. K-12 schools have 2 sections if we talk about 10 to 12. Then there is counseling of parents also going on. We have started a platform where we are upgrading our parents also. See, as ma'am said, Rashmi ma'am, I think she said that we don't have any help at home. Moms are, they are stressed out. So even elders, we are talking about, you go for Coursera. There are several online happy courses. Even Harvard and Yale, they have begun with courses which are freely available. So we are in, educating our parents so that they can also take up these projects and be happy about it. Now, as for human beings, we know human beings are like bicycles. If we do not go further, we fall over. So we have to move forward all the time. This is the idea. So there is a big chunk who went during Holi. I am located in North India. So for major festivals, children go to their native places. So for Holi, they went to native places and they could never come back. So there is a chunk doesn't have access to or right kind of access to these platform. Like if we talk about Zoom, if we talk about Hangs Out, yes, connectivity is also poor many at times. So for them also, all these videos are being saved, which we are creating. Ma'am was right. We invented, PPTs and WhatsApp and Zoom, Google Classroom. You will not believe we came up with testing system using Google Forms. This was one more innovative idea, that Google Forms, and we were wondering how to take test, authenticity and some kind of moral ethics business also was involved in it. So we took help of Google Forms. So on daily basis, we are learning. We have become technology friendly, and ultimately, like I am 52. I also had to learn many things which I was not doing. So good thing which has come out of it, I would say that we all are learning. So I was on like those who do not have this access. So for language development, I would particularly like to tell you, in North India, we face this problem. Neither Hindi nor English, both needs to be strengthened. The language which we speak has become functional. It's gone are the days when we had those good language skills. So during this time, we have given a very easy option to them, that pick up newspaper. Like Hindi newspaper, you will read for your mom and dad or your grandparents. So then you are learning, you're improving, you're honing your pronunciation skills. Side by side, play Antakshari of Hindi words. Now with spelling, like we are saying Bajpai, so ba mein a ki matra, ja pa mein ek ki matra, like this. You'll spell the word, and whole family will sit on the dining table and do it. Let's do it. For English, we have done that. You'll take a paragraph from newspaper, your favorite item. If you're interested in sports, you go to sports or anything. Then you read it. Wherever any difficulty is there, you go back to dictionary and find out the meaning and write down. With that word, you can discuss with the teacher also. Like if you think that the word is very difficult for you, and make a sentence out of it, so that you are clear about the meaning. So language skills we are thinking of strengthening. We are doing it, and it has become very successful. Even one idea which was given by Hindi teacher has become very popular. Every day we are to one class, we are giving this 7 words we are picking up from the newspaper and giving to the family. And in 1 week, one story has to be created by the whole family. And these will be their lockdown stories, which they'll be telling to their upcoming generations, that during once upon a time, when we were sitting at home and we had nothing to do, and believe me or not, there is some amount of fear inside. Uncertainty is lurking over us. We cannot deny that. To overcome, this is the time when family bonding becomes very important. So we are taking care of content syllabus, I mean to say, on the platform and technological platform, but side by side, full care is being taken that family, their mental health, their emotional health remains good, and mothers especially. Yes. So for mothers, even for their birthdays, their favorite song, the whole family sang for them. So that was a gift which we gave. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think some of your ideas would actually find space in the white paper that we're going to create. The first one being the spelling Antakshari in Hindi. You would want to know more about it. Our team will stay connected with you on this. And this 7 daily Hindi words for creating lockdown stories. This is something really interesting. If possible, please tell your teacher or anybody who's convening this activity to do a small observation paper on it. We'll be happy to publish those observations. This is a very nice activity. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. We'll try to take this to the white paper. Let's now listen from Amit sir. Amit sir, over to you for the next 3 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Everyone, I'm Amit Kumar, and recently I am working in a school which is completely residential school, that is outskirts of Ranchi. My students who all are here, who have taken admission, they basically belongs to a very rural background. So taking technology everywhere is not possible for us, for my teachers even. The teachers who have gone back, they are not having the proper resource so that they can utilize it, so that they can give something to the students. But we are trying to do something new, that the student can reform themselves, especially in the reading habits, because reading is very important. And if the student's reading improves, he can improve his spelling, and once spelling is improved, he can improve his vocabulary. So first and foremost thing that I have emphasized is on reading. I have also asked my teachers to send some of the, so in the daily basis, I've asked my teachers to send some of the assignments so that the students are there to work something, because the parents are always complaining the students are not doing, they are playing all the time. So we have to take some care about that. And second thing about the reading that I was talking about is that I have asked the students that one paragraph they should read. What the paragraph might be of any book or any class, that English book. First, they will make a line, means make an oblique after every word. Second paragraph, what they will do, they will make a oblique after every 2 words, and then they will read. Third, they will do what? The 3 words, and this will continue till 5 words. Once they start reading like this, their reading habit will become strong, their pronunciation will become strong, and they can read properly. Even the words that is there, there they can pronounce properly, and the words which are not clear to them, they can go through the dictionary to have a look of it. So this has enhanced the reading practice, and also the students are able to do something in their vocabulary, because my students are not from a very big background, good background, what we can find in a good cities or big cities. The students here are, and the technology is also not very good that we can ask the students that, is not that the students should do something new so that they can improve their whatever lagging things are there, they can improve on those things. This is the best time that they can utilize the time, whatever they have lost before, they can utilize, they can work for that, and they can improve. Once improvement is there, the base is strong, they can enhance their knowledge and they can perform well in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Amit, sir. I think we have 2 or 3 very nice ideas for you. In every call that we do and every web talk that we do, we try to get a big variety of people from a variety of geographies. In all our talks, we had people coming in from the Delhis and Bombays and the Londons of the world, and we had people coming from the Sonbhadras and the very small places from all across India and different places, even Pokhara from Nepal. So there are a lot. Just to give you some small ideas that you can use, there's one school, I think the Indian Embassy School in UAE, they're doing a very innovative activity. They've started doing something called Cartoons Speak. They've told their kids to take a white sheet of paper every day and take any magazine or newspaper that they get at home, and every news publication has a cartoon strip. So they've asked them to cut that cartoon strip, paste it on a white paper, and write the interpretation of that cartoon that the kid understands. So it's an offline activity, does not need internet, and you'll have a good repository of interpretations once the complete lockdown gets completed. Secondly, there's one more interesting activity that one school is doing in Sundarbans in Odisha. They don't have good internet, so they've started making introspective diaries. They've told their kids to daily write what good did they do in the whole day and what bad did they do in the whole day. So it's a good way to increase or enhance their wisdom. And you can finally judge that diary on the basis of the list that they create. So people are doing amazingly interesting stuff, and to find such more ideas that what you can do in your school, and even what tech-enabled schools can do in their schools, you can visit BlubWorld's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are, and you'll find daily new ideas coming up there from these web talks that we're publishing every day. Even in the last edition, we published a primary white paper with 25 such ideas, and now we'll be publishing on the next 15th the complete white paper that we suppose will have nearly 70 or 80 amazing ideas that schools did during this lockdown. Now, first, before this talk comes to a conclusion, because we're nearly the time's finishing up. So before we conclude this talk, I want to just give you 2 perspectives, or typically 2 ideas or 2 thoughts, just simple food for thought, so that when we meet next or when we talk next, I can have some more better ideas coming in from you. So at the moment, a lot of us are using a lot of ed tech solutions or education technology solutions. And what we could observe after talking to nearly 200 school leaders now, that most of these ed tech solutions are not solving education problems. They are solving communication problems. And the two companies or the two platforms which right now are leading the edtech sector were not supposed to be education technologies. First one being WhatsApp and the second one being Zoom. They were not supposed to be edtech companies. So what the idea that simply I want to put it in your mind is, when you judge an education technology platform or any product that you're going to use or implement within your institution, try to understand the human factor involved in it. Because just a technology cannot do the solution. There has to be education in it. And how do you add that, test that factor is something very critical. Second, we are all right now in a lockdown or a corona world. And we pray and hope that very soon we'll all be in a post-corona or a post-lockdown world. And in that post-lockdown world, what we can understand is the character of the student that you had in the class and the character of the teacher that you had in the class, they would have drastically altered during this lockdown. The student would get accustomed to one-on-one teaching, because when it's digital, it's one-on-one, it's not one-to-many. And the teacher, who is now super tech savvy, but super strained, would dramatically change the dynamics of the class. Now, once that changes, what kind of changes does the management have to do? Administration will also change. How will it change? Think over it. Second, what kind of skills would you need in a teacher now? Because most important skill that was there in teaching was information delivery or delivering content. Delivering content is no more a skill for a teacher, because technology can very easily do that. Just information is no more teaching. So what kind of a teacher do you need in the future? And what skills do you need in him? This is the right time to judge and isolate those skills so that you are able to better judge a teacher when you hire them next. And most importantly, the curriculum that we are working on is not the curriculum for the future. And what we think, after these many discussions, there are two skills or two abilities or capabilities that you will have to give every student. Because the world that we see coming after this lockdown would be superbly influenced by technology. And when technology replaces humans, you have to make humans better than technology. And to make them better than technology, only two skills make humans better than tech. First one, creativity. Creativity not in the sense of just colors and paintings and drawings. That's one aspect of it. Critical thinking. Knowing how to think. Perspective analysis. Observation. Creativity in all these senses. Divergent thinking. And second, and which is going to be super critical in the coming times, you will have to give him the real knowledge. If you go and look at the word meaning of the word knowledge, it actually splits into two words, knowing and ledge. Knowing your ledge. So knowing where are you standing, ledge is where you stand. So knowing your ledge, or to put it in simple words, you'll have to give him wisdom to judge what's good for him and what's bad for him. Because once you open the internet to him, everything is available. And he has to judge what he consumes or not, because you cannot, and you absolutely cannot, and no technology can absolutely police a kid or monitor a kid online. And to give these two skills, it's going to be a humongous task. It's not that easy. So let's think on these lines, that what all new and innovative things will you do in the post-lockdown school? Because the idea of a school that we all know, understand, and have lived is no more existent. We have to create a new school now once the world opens up. So hope you enjoyed the last 20-30 minutes. We are trying to find India's most creative school. So if you, your teachers, your students or parents are doing anything creative or innovative, share it with us. Our team will stay connected with you, and we have a very big cash prize waiting for you. The simple reason of giving this cash prize is to get the smallest and the best innovations to everybody, because a small innovation can become a big change in the future. So whatever is happening, try to create an observation paper from your perspective within your ecosystems, because this will be the future knowledge bank that the world would need. So don't lose this time in just executing education. Use this time in creating the next education that the world needs. So if you enjoyed the last 20 minutes and want to attend future sessions like these, open your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much, people, for being with us for the last 30 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this platform. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.